Hi guys. I just want to talk about the afterlife, and I don't know what your view is. It'd be really good to hear some other opinions. Um, Me personally, up until recently, I always believed in perhaps reincarnation or um, you're reborn and you go into a different life and you've got to do better than your last life or whatever the case may be. I believe something like that. Now, I'm not too sure. I don't want to believe that when you die, that's it. I do, however, because we are all made of um, energy, I do believe that we are energy. I believe there's definitely energy out there. In terms of Marley, um, I would say, I don't know, not even just Marley, I think in general, if you've done wrong to someone, I mean, me myself, I don't have enemies, which makes it easier. If you have a problem, you know exactly who to who to look for. But I don't have. I think if anyone had an enemy, I believe that probably you hear people say they come back to haunt people or stuff like things like that. I think that is real. I do believe that is real. I've heard lots of examples of people say they feel that they're haunted or their house is haunted or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I think that's real. I think if someone had traumatic death and say, I don't know if they were murdered or someone was responsible for it in some way, then I think, yeah, it's conceivable that they could or would haunt someone. So in that respect, afterlife, yeah, that's totally possible. Totally possible. I know a lot of people who do believe that. Um, which leads me on to the next thing, like psychics and spiritualists and all that sort of stuff. Again, I'd say I'm 50-50 in that there's been times in the past, or I've been around people who've spoken to psychics, for instance, and what the psychic has said has been spot on, or they've got things really accurate. It could just be guesswork, because if you think about it, um, if they're that good, then they'll be millionaires in mansions. Do you know what I mean? Not kind of giving like £20 readings, but there has to be some element of accuracy, because some people swear by them and some people do believe in them. So yeah, I'm 50-50. Um, but more than anything, more than believing in reincarnation or return to dust or whatever, more than anything, I believe in energy, 100%, 100%. And here's my reason. Um, the week, I think it was a few days after Marley passed away, there was this, you get these like spam calls or whatever, kept on ringing. It was too much. It was literally like borderline. It was harassment. And it was like, I was just like, no, I'm not interested. Don't ring. I'm going for this. I do not want to know. And they still carried on ringing. And it got to a point where my daughter just got hold of the phone and was like, look, just leave us, stop calling. Anyway, at that moment, I've got this tiger lion thing head on the wall. It's never fallen down for any reason, and even with a reason, it's not fallen down in years. As like my daughter was getting really upset about these people, given that we was grieving, it just flung off the wall. No explanation. It just flung off the wall. I can't explain that, because the little hook that it was on was in place. There was no reason for it. So yeah, I believe like your past loved ones. Maybe there's people out there who've had experiences. I'd love to hear. But I believe that your past loved ones do definitely send you energy in the form of like what I've just explained, or other ways. So you can let me know. In addition to that, the biggest thing ever since Marley has passed that myself and his sister have seen, obviously he drove a Range Rover. Now, when he was alive, And if I was ever getting a lift with him or whatever, um, if he saw another Range Rover, he'd bid at them. It's like a kind of like, yay, you know, Range Rover Club type thing. But it was always few and far between because it was only here and there he would bid. Anyway, ever since he's passed, it's literally, it's all the time. And I'm so thankful that my daughter has been witness to this, because then I know it's not just me kind of like looking for clues, it's big, definitive, massive clues. I'll give you an example today, and it's usually when I'm thinking about Marley or something to do with him. I'll see them, and it's just, there's no, I verily believe that's his energy, 100%. There's no other way to explain it. Today, on my way back, my own business, you know how sometimes you have hypothetical, you think of hypothetical scenarios. Well, I'm sure you do. I do. So I was thinking about a hypothetical scenario where, you know, I was kind of like thinking about the answers in relation to Marley. Literally, Range Rover comes past. Okay, that's one. So I carry on. Then two more come past. Like, okay, you know, it's a popular car. Although it seems like super popular now. And then I just ignore it because you can't obviously like hyper focus on it, you know. And then literally, as I got to a destination, there's one sitting there. I'm like, okay, it's definitely like, you know, getting a sign. And then consecutively, another one. It's just ridiculous. And there's been so many times. Another occasion, Destiny was in a different destination. Oh, sorry, before that, yeah, then after see all the ones I saw today, got back home, put on the radio, I don't know why I even put it on, and then the song that was played at his funeral, here's to the ones we have lost, here's to I thought, okay, 100% it's a sign. And then there's been times when Destiny's been in a different destination to me, different place to me. I've been like, oh my gosh, Des, I've had so many signs today. And she's been like, oh my god, I have as well. She's like heard a song, or I remember once I went for this massage and a lady was like, oh, does that say Marley in your back? I was like, yes. She was like, that's my son's name. And then as I came out of the massage, got to the car, the Range Rover next to my car, and it was, I think it was either Sun or Sky, the registration. Things like that, I really do believe that's kind of like the person letting you know that their energy is around you. And as I say, it's literally ever since he's passed, it's just like all the time. And the fact that obviously today I was thinking of him, and then all his cars came past. When I got home, put the radio on, the funeral song comes on. You know, it's such a signature tune, Maroon 5. And things like that you can't really explain. You can say it's coincidence, you can say the law of average, you know, there's going to be a certain amount of things in relation to them that you're going to see. I get that, but without a shadow of doubt, it's too much. And I know Destiny is, because me and her were like, nah, okay, now it's too much, isn't it? You know, it's not just coincidence, and it literally is, ever since he's passed, we've seen stuff so many times. Now, I'm going to share with you, as I say, I don't really believe too much about psychics and that. I reckon there probably are elements to be believed, but we stumbled across this, it's like a spiritualist type place, not expecting anything, not looking for anything. Some of the people who are getting readings seems like the readers were really in tune and really kind of accurate with what they were saying. And then all of a sudden, she come to me and I'm like, oh my god, here we go. And I have to mention this is very important. Where we were, it was literally all white people, yeah? And I'll tell you why that's important. They're all like middle class, older white people, with a few younger. So we were literally like the only black people. So she came to me and I'm like, oh my gosh. And like, it was really weird because the first statement she made, the entire room just looked, it was like something out of a comedy sketch, like In-Betweeners or some Brit kind of movie, because it was kind of like, and I just remember feeling like, oh my god, this is shame, everyone's looking. Do you know what I mean? She was like, yes, it's a tall man, it's a Rastafarian, he's got long dreadlocks. And I'm thinking, I don't know anybody with dreadlocks full stop. She goes, no, they're long dreadlocks. He's a very tall man, and he's got a big hat. And I'm thinking, okay, you're being hella stereotypical now. But I didn't really take it seriously. And then she was like, oh, and he's got like the, like, is it Barbadian colours or some colours? I don't even know anyone from Barbados or Rasta. And then she said about mutton and rice, and she said Notting Hill Carnival and playing roots. So I'm thinking, this woman's just being like hella stereotypical. So I just thought, yeah, whatever. And she was like, no, as I said to her, you know, I don't know anyone who fits that bracket. She was like, I'll ask again. No, he's sticking with it. He's sticking with it. So I just kind of like thought, whatever, you know, just, you know, heat me up, make me feel like, oh my god, this is like cringe in front of everyone and I don't even know who the hell you're talking about. Then she goes to Destiny, and let me tell you, everything she said to Destiny was totally accurate. There's no way she could have just guessed it just from looking at her. It's kind of like what I would have, conversation, so I would have said to Destiny, or definitely Marley. That's how I know she was spot on. So anyway, afterwards I thought, I don't know what that was about. That was really cringy. Like, everyone turning around looking at us like, Rastafarian, blah, 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 in a like middle class place. And afterwards, walking back, I said to Destiny, you know, that was like embarrassing. I thought, hang on a minute, this is Miley we're talking about. It only dawned on me, you know, kind of like Rasta colours, long dreadlocks, big hat, the music, Notting Hill. Then I thought, hang on a minute, it could be the fact that his name's Marley, Bob Marley, but it's a bit of a stretch. Then I thought, this is Marley we're talking about. The living troll, the living joker. He would actually enjoy having me in that situation, and making me feel cringe where like the whole room's looking like, you know, and I feel like, you know, I want the bloody earth to swallow out because it was so cringy, you know. So I thought, yeah, possibly that was Marley just literally taking the pee. What do you guys think? Because obviously you know how, you know, he was a living troll. But I definitely do think I know what she said in relation to Destiny was so accurate. Then, as I say, as we left, there's a girl with two really cute blue dogs. I'm like, oh, so cute, blah, blah, blah. What's its name? This one's Blue, this one's Marley. I'm like, oh my god. We get to, because I parked at the train station, we get to the train station, and the car that stops at the Pelican Crossing, Range Rover. Get to the car, Range Rover. I can't explain it any other way other than Miley's energy is literally with me and Destiny in abundance. You know? So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. It'll be interesting to know what you think, or if you've had similar experiences. But that's about it really.